Would you or someone you know benefit from having extra income each month? Well, believe it or not, this isn't a sales pitch or a pyramid scheme. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the idea of universal basic income. The idea of universal basic income, or UBI as it's sometimes referred, is becoming so popular that trials are being done around the world, even here in the United States. Today, I plan to discuss universal basic income and will hopefully persuade you that it is indeed a good thing for society. To achieve this, I'll introduce you to what basic income is and why it's needed, how it can benefit both society and the government, and ways in which universal basic income could be applied and paid for. Universal basic income is the idea that certain or all citizens will be given a no-strings-attached stipend from their governing body. The amount of the stipend and the citizens who would receive the help vary in different idea circles, which we'll cover more in depth later. Andrew Yang, who's running for president of the United States in 2020 as a Democrat, has a website called yang2020.com, which was last updated this year. And it states that UBI is a form of Social Security, which will guarantee each citizen a certain amount of money without having to pass a test or fulfill a work requirement. The reason that this idea is being tossed around so much these days is the rapid technological takeover of jobs. Today, automation is rampant, causing opportunity losses to 4 million manufacturing jobs just since the year 2000. There are already automated vehicles making deliveries, which will cause an entire other industry to be completely demolished by technology. In fact, Annie Lowry's 2018 book, Give People Money, How Basic Income Would Help End Poverty, Revolutionize Work, and Remake the World, states that President Obama's team in the White House estimated that self-driving vehicles could wipe out between 2.2 and 3.1 million jobs. And it isn't just automation that's causing losses in job opportunities. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is also causing the problem to be exacerbated. An article written April 12, 2019 by Kimberly Amadio with The Balance states that in a recent interview, Elon Musk said that robotics will take away most people's jobs, so a universal basic income is the only solution. With the problems fresh at hand in your mind, I'm sure you can imagine some of the benefits of UBI, so let's talk about those. When it comes to UBI, the benefits are not few and far between and range from personal, societal, and governmental. Let's start with the personal and societal benefits that come along with universal basic income. Through the trials happening around the world, we've learned that these positives entail everything from improving stress levels in people to mental health issues like depression. People have food in their homes for the first time in memorable past. TheGuardian.com ran an article in June 2018 by Matthew Keegan entitled Benefit or Burden, the cities trying out universal basic income, which states that Director Tom Cooper of the Hamilton Roundtable for Poverty Reduction has recently stated that the most important personal restoration provided by UBI has been the restoration of dignity. The article also states that the implementation of universal basic income could help to alleviate inequality in society, not just financial inequalities, but social as well. The benefits for each person seem a bit obvious, but what are the benefits for the governmental bodies which will provide these stipends? Well, currently our government spends between $500 and $600 billion a year on things like food stamps, disability, and other welfare programs. Under some proposals, citizens would be allowed to choose their current income assistance program or choose UBI, but not both. Research has shown that citizens will likely take the cash, and that would greatly reduce the cost of government programs that fund welfare things. Another way universal basic income would benefit governments is listed in a paper presented in 2012 by Gwang-Yun Choi called Basic Income and Deepening Democracy. It states that the addition of basic income to a person's current wages opens more opportunities for business development for people who wouldn't normally have the opportunity to do that. That, in turn, creates more revenue for that governing body. The benefits seem fantastic, so how can we implement universal basic income? Well, there have been many different experiments with UBI done around the world, as I've stated. So now let's take a closer look at a couple of the ones that have happened or been proposed here in North America. First, we'll look at our friendly neighbors to the north, Canada. In a paper by Sheila Reger, published in 2017, she explores the outcomes of the 4-year-long experiment in Manitoba, where they implemented a mincome. Any citizens who lived beneath the poverty line for their family size received a stipend to supplement their income. The findings for this were quite positive, resulting in better overall health for recipients and others in the community who weren't receiving the stipend. This mincome helped to offer stability and peace of mind for recipients who would have otherwise not been able to afford food, housing, clothing, or medical care. In the United States, many experiments have been done with universal basic income since the 1960s, when it nearly passed into a bill but stalled at Senate. Basicincome.org, which states last year, a venture capital company called Y Combinator Research is preparing to start an experiment in 2 unannounced states. They were originally going to do it in California, but then they changed. The company plans to give $1,000 a month to 1,000 people for 6 to 12 months and study the effects both subjectively and objectively. Co-founder of Facebook, Chris Hughes, outlines a UBI plan in his 2018 book, Fair Shot. He argues that U.S. citizens who make less than $50,000 a year should have a $500 a month stipend given to them, arguing that cash is the only thing that will help make an impact on health and education. When concluding on whether you believe universal basic income to be a good thing, you must consider what it is and why it's needed, how it can benefit both citizens and governmental bodies, and how we can implement this plan to protect our citizens who are losing jobs rapidly. When looking closely at each of these things, it becomes quite clear that UBI is a good thing. That is because we are losing jobs to automation and AI quickly. We currently live in a welfare state, and poverty levels are outrageous. Universal basic income can solve all these issues in one fell swoop. Whether you would qualify for this stipend or not, imagine what it would do for people in greater need. They would have the ability to worry less about basic needs, open businesses, and even have better health. Doesn't that seem like a step in the right direction?